Hey guys, Von Fry here. So today we're watching The Ring. This is a movie that really scared the crap out of me. I now have an infamous story about how I first saw this. But if you'd like to watch along with me, go ahead, cue up your version of The Ring on Netflix to 0000 and hit play now. Okay, so I actually had to restart the stream of this because I was having some second thoughts here, thinking, uh, was there something like not right with my connection here? It looks a little low res, but they reworked the DreamWorks logo to have a kind of VHS like look to it, and you can kind of see the glitching effects in that. And this came out at a time when you saw things like that in movies. Like, let's have some fun with the opening credits. And, it gets in quick. We hit DreamWorks, and then we're there. What do we do now? We have to watch a slideshow of 5 different production logos. Okay, so, don't care for the first scene here. The 2 girls, I thought the acting wasn't so good. And, everybody in this movie ended up becoming a big deal. It's kind of amazing. How many people got their start here, or not necessarily start, or got discovered, and within a couple of years it seemed like everybody on this had a TV or a movie or something going on for them. This gal here, the dark-haired one, was she married to John Connor from Terminator 2, or am I mistaken here? And there's Amber Tamblyn. Her husband is a douche, and much older than her. She was Joan of Arcadia. Not too long after this. But we have this girl, she's talking about, hey, so the phone rings. I mean, she's given the story of how all this goes down, laying out the ground rules. But really, you don't need to watch the first scenes of this movie, the first sequence, if you want to break up into acts, this kind of pre-title sequence. It's not necessary because the nerdy guy from the OC will then tell you the story, and it's actually scarier to witness it that way. To have the movie start through the eyes of Naomi Watts instead of this BS right here. I mean, I look back on it now and I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not that bad, but whatever. Which one was this? Okay, so the dark-haired one, she tells the story of the ring stuff, and it's Amber Tamblyn's the one who's like, "What? Yeah, but you gotta be kidding me! What we saw that tape, and the kind of logistics of this. Okay, so you were at a camp, you couldn't get the TV to work, so you borrowed a VHS tape from there, and then it's like, okay, does the messed up VHS tape, does it only work in this circumstance because they watched it at the correct cabin? The cabin, which, hey, I'm assuming you've seen the movie already, but the cabin was right over the well, right? So a little too much coincidence there. Couldn't they have watched that tape at a different cabin, and then they never would have found the well, right? Nitpicking. This is one of my favorite horror films. I would say my favorite strictly horror film, definitely my favorite remake. I would even go that far. Well, you know what? The Thing kind of vies pretty close with this, honestly, especially as horror and remake. But this is right up there. I saw this movie under some circumstances that were very unique for me. First time ever going to a movie theater and not seeing the movie I intended to see. Friends called me up on a whim saying, hey, you want to go to the movies? Whatever. I'm like, well, hey, this Red Dragon's playing. Why don't we go see that? And as I'm heading out to the movies, I'm thinking it's not far away, 5 minutes away from the house. All right, I guess I'm going to watch Red Dragon with Anthony Hopkins. It looks like that might be good. They then change their mind. Hey, we want to see this movie The Ring instead. Oh, okay, fine, whatever. You get the first scene here, and it's like, oh, really, guys? You have me watching this thing. The girls are scared. It's raining outside. Oh, this is so bad. I can't believe I let these guys talk me into it. And then things took an abrupt turn by the time Naomi Watts watches that VHS tape. And then I was looking for a way out. I was like, okay, I am too scared to be sitting here. I need to find a way to get out of this movie theater. It was like being in line for a roller coaster and wanting to dip. It was that bad. I never experienced that kind of fear at a movie theater before, really about anything. And this movie still scares me. This movie, shortly after watching this, I was afraid of phones, televisions being off, televisions turning on, like you name it. This movie kind of gets you with the technology. I was working in a video store at the time, and when this came out, I was disappointed that it was on DVD. I thought it needed to be in a VHS box that was unlabeled, like to try to represent it the way it's shown in the film. So yeah, I have some feelings about this, and I've seen the original Ringu. Unfortunately, I watched that after seeing this, and that may have tainted the experience. And so I can't really give that a fair shake. I think, though, that Gore Verbinski brings a lot to the direction of this. It's stylistically very well polished film, and PG-13 my ass. This is one scary ass film. All right, so Amber Tamlin, see, we got the staticky TV. Not a thing that you would see these days. We don't have the CRTs going. We don't have that kind of cable signal anymore. I guess you could kind of look at this opening as similar to Scream, in that we're dealing with not the lead of the film, but a first victim. And I hadn't really thought about it that way before, but so goes it. And I don't care for Amber Tamblyn either, so it's kind of nice that she bites the dust. And then the other gal, she just kind of goes catatonic. I don't really think she needs to be that disturbed by it. I mean, okay, these things happen. Sometimes the demon comes out of the TV and it kills your friend. You know, what you gonna do? At least you didn't watch the tape. Does that mean, though, that these things can only happen if there's no witness? I wonder about that. Because it's like 7 days to the minute, just about, or how is that decided? I realize that there's other films that I've seen most of. The Ring 2, disappointing. I saw, what was it, Rings? Johnny Galecki and some other people, I can't remember. I remember I reviewed it. Okay, we got a snapshot of what's happening where we could see her face changing. This is where the movie should start. The kid drawing. You have a movie with this paranormal ghost-like factor, but you also have this creepy looking kid who draws disturbing stuff, and it's sort of a red herring. You think something's going to come of this, that this boy was somehow linked to it, and maybe some more of this comes up in the second film. I don't really recall, but man, I really like Naomi Watts in this movie. This is around the time where she was nominated for an Oscar for just showing up, and boy, is she hot here. She's got this sassy mom vibe. Just a quality character here. The kid refers to her by her first name, like Homer Simpson, right? Like Bart says Homer instead of Dad. Yeah, we can see that I'm kind of this mom who doesn't sit in the chairs. Yeah, that's what I do. My name's Rachel. Aiden recently lost his cousin, the cousin being Amber Tamblyn, okay. Oh, do I turn up the volume and risk copy ID stuff? Cool story here. A couple weeks ago, one of my videos, one of my commentaries tracks, that would be Bad Boys 2, Bad Boys Secret of the Ooze. It got a strike on it from a company that represents I guess the media companies out there, the studios, they part out to some third parties to look for thievery, the piracy over on YouTube. and they identified that I had Bad Boys for Life uploaded. Ain't wrong. I took it up with them. I didn't get a apologies, well, we're going to drop the claim. It was more of a, well, yeah, well, we decided to drop it because it was incorrectly labeled. Not anything wishing me luck or anything like that. Nothing polite. But I was totally in the right there. My video was on Bad Boys 2, not Bad Boys for Life. And I have to wonder what other kind of mislabeling can go out there to just, kind of give you a copyright strike, take away your ad revenue for a day or a week or until YouTube sorts that shit out. It's amazing the power the accusers have over on YouTube, because YouTube will play to whoever has the most money. And the studios have more money than the people making the content on YouTube, so the people making the content are in the wrong until proven innocent. Here, dreary, always rainy, always green Washington weather throughout this movie, in particular Seattle, but they travel around a bit. Usually, I hate that look. I like a warmer look in the films. Like I'm looking at quality cinematography of aforementioned Bad Boys, Top Gun. Those look nice. It's hard to do a steel blue look without feeling like you're aping James Cameron. This kind of has a almost Fight Club vibe. I wouldn't say. Maybe not as much in the way of contrast or a beach bypass look. But we have this awkward boy. Katie knew. She told me. She told me she was going to die, huh? Yeah, what? Oh, yeah. The boy that acts a little bit like an adult, but have you seen TV shows and movies lately where all the children act like adults to the point that they're raising the parents? It's annoying as shit. And there we go. I wonder if Seattle, and you see that the apartment building there, if it's kind of chosen for this film setting because it looks a bit like Japan in a way. You got that the apartment high rise looks Japanese. You could have told me that was in Tokyo, for that matter. I might have just bought it. Yep, little boy putting on a suit. He can tie his own tie. Wow. Dreary. Yeah, but we're going to a funeral. Suitable enough. Think about the Von Fry cut of this, guys. You start with the kid's drawing, right? You're going to get all the information you need to know about the tape. There's really no sense in it being presented twice. Academy Award winner Kevin Wilmot told me, because I was in his class on screenwriting, that you don't want to just say it twice to the audience. If another character needs to be introduced to it, you dumb show it. You just have these people kind of talk in the background as the camera drifts away, fades out, something like that. You get the idea that the information is being passed on. Oh boy. In a minute here, we're going to be shown the teenagers who knew Katie, and she rolls with a crowd that also has quite a bit of work. There's a hot babe there who was the was she the first bride in The Hangover, or she was in the Hangover movies. And it was weird because it was like she had a good relationship with the guys as they got in trouble. Like, okay, you just try to get back here in time, like that kind of thing. I can't remember her name, but she's fine. So we'll point that out when we get there. I don't know how it could happen, man. The kid just kind of, I don't know, looked waterlogged and starved at the same time, just all of a sudden. You know, you leave a body like that, there ain't gonna be any cops looking for a suspect. Who else is in stuff in this? A strange dad of Aiden. He Martin some he got some work shortly after. There was that weird bike movie. It looked like a Mountain Dew ad. Speaking of which, I need to get me my dew. There we go. I typically have dew on hand when I do a commentary. All right, we want you to kind of look into this death. What? Sarface. Oh, and that's a jump scare. Not There's not a ton of jump scares in this. Maybe you need a one or two in your horror film. Just kind of keep the audience on. There's the hot chick. I forgot her name, but man, she grew into her hotness later. Believe me, she still looks all right here, but. Yeah, oh man, the other gal, I think she's in some stuff, and Naomi Watts just show up like, hey, we're gonna smoke. I don't think you can smoke in a PG-13 now. I think smoking, it's like you're getting an R rating. Yeah. And it says teenage boy. Oh, one of Shazam's cohorts here. Oh, the tape, the one that kills you. Man, he still looks the same. Was he born 30 years old? Oh, speaking of which, he has a wife that's in one of those shows, Single Parents, where the kids raise the parents. Did I call him Adrian is it Adam Brody? There's a Brody in there. Yeah. The boyfriend killed himself too, same night that Katie died. Yeah, because they watched it at the same time. Shit goes down at the same time, man. Is it one of these boys who sees dead people? He's kind of getting the vision, huh? Is he the key behind all of this? Well, you get a little boy in a tuxedo and, well, okay, a suit for a funeral, and yeah, all kinds of creepy stuff can happen. Yeah, there's where some water settled, kind of affected the wood a bit. So she stood there, and I mean, we saw the effect, but then they found her in the closet. So the thing drag her out into the closet, huh? Maybe there was a bit of an effect over the screen of the TV. I hadn't really thought about that before, but how does that work? It's good that there's questions in this. We understand it's paranormal, and so it's best left to not explain everything. It's such a fine line between that doesn't make sense and leaving something for mystery. In the case of the X-Men, we have most of their origin stories are pretty simple, except for Wolverine. The cool thing about him is that his origin story is a mystery. Then in the year 2000, they made a comic book that gave away his origin, and ever since they ruined all that shit. It's better to leave it a mystery. Next day photo processing. Huh, well, she has just so happened to figure out that she had some photos to pick up. I understand she's a reporter. She was kind of snooping, but she snooped for all of 10 seconds and found something worth picking up. Okay. Uh, but once she gets the ball rolling, you get some reporter vibe out of Rachel here. But oh, hey, this is a weird one. This is after they watch the tape. Face is missing. Yeah, everything looks a little swirly there. High rise fall. It'd be 17 again, man. Actually, isn't that a yeah? What's the little shorty from High School Musical? 17 again in his movie. All happened about the same time. Time of death, Wade. That's all I want to know. I like this. You're fired. No, I'm not. Yes, you. No, I'm not. Oh, you know what? Also, weird connection here. Now that I think about it, I went to go see a Hannibal Lecter movie. Anthony Hopkins, right? The OG Hannibal Lecter from Manhunter is in The Ring. I think there was a lot of color correction done to this to grade the film green like the look. If you there's movies around of people driving out in the forest in Japan and okay, actually Naomi Watts is in the movie about the Japanese suicide forest. Is it just called The Forest? Maybe it, Matthew McConaughey was actually straight to video and not good, but so many connections. Oh yeah, I walk in here. I want to pick a card. Sure, okay. And he gives up. Usually it's like that. Is that your card? No. Oh, because this is. Well, yeah, they were in cabin 12. I remember. We bought tape players for the video. At the time of this, yeah. DVD was definitely the thing. I can understand the original film dealing with a VHS tape. By the time you get to 2002, I've had a DVD player for 2 years. I'm assuming most Americans had one at the time also. Huh. Okay, well, we had the guy say something about a all right, hold on. She's gonna lie. That's it. Yeah. Oh, damn, she's cute. All right, so that was their cabin, cabin 12. The boy said something about a VHS tape that kills you. There's an oddly red, vibrant tree in the back. It's quite, and now shit's looking a little ominous here. Oh, well, I'll just kind of watch the tape. Oh, the red leaves seep into the room. Oh, look at that contrast. Not that that should have anything to do with watching the tape, but it sets a sort of atmosphere about this. And we're getting to the tape, which scares the crap out of me. and I don't know if I want to keep watching. Like, I might look away. Oh, jeez. Why? Oh, kind of tearing up. Jesus. I don't want to look, but I have to. Okay, we got. I think I saw the mom shown there in the mirror in something recently. I can't recall what. Oh, jeez. Eerie rumbling hiss. You know what? If you turn the subtitles on, it's a little less scary because the subtitles pull you away from the film a little bit. It kind of oh geez. Yeah, there's a lot of eerie stuff here. In film festival submissions, on occasion somebody would try to make something like the Rings videotape, but they couldn't go out and shoot this stuff, so it would all have to be digital, and it just didn't look as authentic. Yeah, even though there is some the ladder falling, if I had to guess, that looks like a render. And then when this goes down, it's just like, whoa, what did I just watch? The iris. I was really damn. This was the point where I was in the theater thinking, how do I get out of here? Now you got the phone call. Everybody knows how this goes down. It's one of those scenarios, though, where you have to think like with Candyman. You say in the mirror, whatever, Candyman 3 times fast or whichever, and then they kill you. But if you did that, you wouldn't be alive to tell people about it, so how does anybody know? I guess these the teens at the funeral had heard of this creepy story from these guys, and you can kind of understand that they heard some of it, but maybe didn't give any real thought until everybody started dying. I'm going to school. Oh, by the way, let's make sure our apartment's ultra dreary too, with progressive taupe everywhere. And she's like, whoa, am I next? This is some heavy stuff. Don't walk, or is it don't cross? Yeah, from Blade Runner. And it's like, who did I just bounce into? This is not the way one sees his dad. Yeah, this is a very odd kid. Man, it just says man right there. What's it gonna do with the tape? Take my picture. You'll see. Everything turns out weird. Oh, to go back to actually, they had a digital camera. My family was a little ahead of the curve at times in certain aspects of technology. We still don't have a 4K TV, but we had a digital camera in '99. Big bulky thing. I think it was 1.3 megapixel, which at the time was totally cutting edge. Now that is the front-facing camera on my iPhone, which looks like ass. Martin Henderson, is that right? I try not to look this stuff up, and I'm going to try to think about who that Hannibal Lecter was, and I can't recall now. All right, so I'm going to show him the tape. He's really that curious, huh? Okay. And he brushes it off like, I've seen better. Look at that. Doesn't that look like the view of imagery from Japan? Or maybe somewhere in Asia, right? All these people, they leave the TV on and they take it for granted. But someday the TV's gonna come back and get you. Yep, everybody wants to have their TV facing so that the Windows glare will bounce off of it and you won't be able to see shite. That's the way we set up our TVs in Seattle. That was very student film. I'm sure it's a lot scarier at night. Yeah, well, you need to go see it in the cabin. That's where it gets its effect. I mean, one kind of surmise that the two need to be lined up. You see it at the cabin. So this is the phone call you get, and you don't answer. It doesn't. It still counts as they tried to warn you the 7 days. So there's a lot going on with this little girl. She was neglected. Did she escape to watching tapes? Did she also make crank calls? Is that why the phone gets brought into this? I don't know. Noah. What a good name for a douchebag. Who made it? Where'd it come from? What does he do? I can't remember. Is he a photographer? Is that his story and she's the reporter? But he appears to have an assistant that has a fling. Oh, you got a message. Did it say 7 days on the message? I think she just up and deletes it. No, you needed the evidence, baby. This movie kicked off a J-horror trend. The Grudge gets brought in. U.S. remake, was that 2004, I think? And then that kind of ran its course too. Prior to this movie, people didn't know about J-horror. It wasn't something discussed. Oh, something's wrong with the time code. I had edited VHS tape around around the time seeing this. I was in a class where it wasn't done digitally. We edited like tape to tape in this real complicated machine. I mean, to call it a machine is a bit much, but it wasn't strictly digital like anything you'd imagine, and it was specific for VHS tapes. It wasn't a digibeta. It was VHS. Quality was sketchy. You could hook up a PlayStation 2 and mix some things with a movie, whatever. It was non-linear editing with VHS tapes. Enjoy. I think if I remember correctly, we watched a training video on it. It said it was like $20,000. No one would pay anything like that. It's that kind of tech that doesn't age well. Like everybody wants so much money for new DSLR cameras now. It's like, oh, you got $4,000 sitting around. But a lot of things, man, a lot of tech, it does not hold its value. Some do, some don't. Old stereo equipment do. Film cameras, maybe not so much. Some digital cameras, possibly. Microphones should be able to. I mean, come on, you whipping out stuff though to look at VHS tapes. It's antiquated. Oh yeah, we're just gonna kind of mess with the edge of it, huh? Not. We never got into anything like that, so I couldn't tell you how authentic that is. If you can look past like at overscan on VHS. Beth, my assistant. I'm trying to recall. Is that I don't think that's who I'm thinking of here. I think there's another girl that was in a bunch of stuff. It could be the assistant Beth. I'm gonna have to go to IMDb and look these things up, aren't I? Christ, didn't want to have to do that. Something always alluring in films when you have like a service elevator to your apartment, your loft. What do you call this? Polyper. Oh, so yeah, so NCIS. That's the NCIS girl who I think. How do I say this without getting charged with anything? She said there's a lot of sexist Me Too type Times Up things going on the set, and then there was talk that it was all around the big boss man, whatever I forgot his name. And then Sarah Rue is a babysitter. She had a show on ABC. So yeah, it's just shows all over the place. Uh oh. Did I just walk under a ladder? In walking under a ladder, bad luck. But she starts to see things from the tape. More coincidence or clues to what to look for in the future? Is everybody going to get the ladder? Everybody watches the same tape, right? What if you avoid seeing the things in the tape? Do you avoid the ultimate conclusion? Brian Cox, that was the OG Hannibal Lecter. Haven't seen Manhunter in a while. I have it on. I think I have the director's cut on VHS. Some differences. Here's Becca, Rachel Bella. I have to look. I think what I could be wrong. Wouldn't I thought she had something to do with somebody. Yeah, I think she was short term married to John Connor, but hasn't really done a lot since then. Naomi Watts wearing a Fox stamp shirt because she's a fox. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the videotape will scare you to death. You get like didn't they say it's a heart attack? She'll show you who. What does she know about this though? Did she witness maybe a little bit of this? How does she know that she saw the tape? She'll get a little pissy with you. There's tracking. Yeah, I don't need to be exposing anybody else to this. So yeah, okay, whatever gets you, Roxa. This lady tells her about this old equipment like she's showing her a booth at like at like the dirty video store. If you watch the tape again, can you get like days added back? Ah, a lighthouse. Print. Oh, we can print screens here. Is this the type of machine one would use to make video game magazine guides? Remember how they used to like print out the levels for a Super Mario Brothers game? They'd look all like one continuous. Is pretty cool. Another eerie touch here with the fly becoming real. Whoa. And her nose bleeds. Sunday, day 4. Maybe Becca was a little quick. It says day 4. Well, okay, it's day 4, so 3 days left. Yeah, I guess she was right. Got a lot of lighthouses to be taking a look at. I guess you want to start your search around Washington. Ah, yes, the old days of going to the library to open the books and do the research that way. This movie's sort of a throwback love letter to old-timey investigation methods, huh? Could this be the right place? I mean, you're only going to find the right place this way if people took photos from the same area. As you need that photo to line up with the way it was presented in the videotape. Otherwise, you're not going to find those rocks that way. Now I need to look up the mom from this because I saw her in something, I'm pretty sure. Shannon Cochran. Maybe it was a Star Trek? Kind of like the investigative piano. Whoa. So much investigating. And we gotta bind those newspapers. I think one would probably be more likely to find them on the microfiche. Ah, yes, the days of scanning and printing, kids. Are offices still filled with scanners and printers? Don't know, because no one will hire my ass. See, I don't think at this point you know that it's a little girl behind all this. Though I think this movie kicks off the scary child phenomenon that was going on in the 2000s. You're gonna die. What? Oh, people keep telling me this. Oh, because of the smoking. Never. Oh, never mind. A little fake out. Huh? It's weird. I watched the tape and now I can't be videotaped well. She looks confused too. Like, huh? Hey, it's a good time to go robbing the bank, guys. If they can't get your picture, huh? But we forget about him for solving the mystery so much. We're concerned about Rachel. There's the babysitter, Sarah Rue. She slimmed down some after this. I think fluctuated a bit there. Seems like Aiden would be a good kid to babysit. What kind of troubles he get into? He's just such a, I don't know, stoic little dude. He's not messy, just neat. All right, we're taking a good long look at that water. Large handset phone right there for the landlines that we no longer use. Starts to pull something from her mouth. It's like, huh, what is that? I think it's hair. I remember right. It's not like anything she would have eaten. What's at the bottom? Oh, it's not. Is it hair and then it's wrapped in one of these? Is it EKG pads? Your phone's now waterlogged. Your phone seeping water. Why is that? Was that one of the things in the tape? It's giving you the clues. It's like the tape presents you with a sort of escape room puzzle for you to solve. Oh no, this is a jump scare, and bam! She's having the visions. It's all a dream. But clues, huh? Leaves like a burn on her arm. Like that looks kind of serious too. That looks like a third-degree type burn job right there. Oh no, what's going on? Where's Aiden? Really, I get the kid he couldn't find his cartoons, so he put on the tape. No. Oh, she tried to cover his eyes a little too late. Important thing here, she throws the tape under the couch. That's important. Why'd you watch that? Oh, I couldn't sleep. Well, you gonna sleep now? Who is she, Rachel? I swear, if I have a kid calling me Vaughn, there's gonna be problems. Yeah, this is you got to be afraid, fearing the phone here. Oh, jeez. She, this is a excellent performance. There's so much going on with Naomi Watts. Uh, the mystery and trying to solve this puzzle kind of gets their family back together. And uh, when we have a figure who is the abused, neglected, and the broken family, it has this kind of opposite effect on the people trying to solve it. Such a like a nice range of emotion. We see how she is and how this affects her and how it changes her. Day 6. Oh, we are running out of time. We got baby daddy on board. He sees how things are changing with his face, and they're going all in. Jeez. If you say you don't want me around, son, then how do you want me to respond? And we're looking at some notes. Circles. Okay, I'm trying to remember here whose notes she's looking at. This is oh yeah, deceased Katie, right? So she's drawing things, and we get Aiden making drawings, these things in their head. How come this doesn't seem to be happening to Naomi Watts? Compelled to draw the circles. Then one day, she takes this hard corner, the light goes out, and she ends up all alone. In the Japanese movie Ringu, there is more backstory with the origins of the kid, and it's suggested, never shown here, never suggested here by any means, that the mom couldn't get pregnant, but a demon came from the ocean and impregnated her. Like she made a deal with the devil. Some devil appeared, got her pregnant, and so she has a demonic child that she then kills, and it has beyond the grave capabilities. Here we don't get the okay, there's something wrong with this kid. Maybe your kid, it's like the Omen, okay? Suppose you kill Damien but things happen afterwards. it's probably just better to not explore that and leave the mystery and have these characters deal with the here and now. A part that I kind of would like them to touch up, kind of coming up here, the CGI on the horse, not so strong. The I think the girl spooks the horses, and so her essence, the effect of the curse of those who watch the tape that spooks the horse, coming up here. Dang, is that burn getting worse? It looks rotten now. Might want to go get that checked out. Got a quick cut, just a couple frames of a horse's eye. I think we had a shot of a horse's eye in the video. Now, lady, do you have any business walking around trying to pet somebody's horse? Oh, don't be afraid. I'm just going to keep trying to touch you. Investigative reporter stuff, man. I think like a lady, you don't have some owner showing up. Hey, get away from her. What you doing? Walk away. Oh, okay. I guess you don't want to be petted. Then walk away. There's no reason to be messing with this horse. You know, I should think that a horse could kick one of those open if were they were so inclined. It's the CGI here, little suspect. There's a little bit of a blurriness thing going. And then when the horse jumps in the water, you'll see. Would people be that upset if CGI was fixed later on? I mean, no real change to the film otherwise. I'm just saying you polish up the CGI when you got better tech for it. Why not, right? Duck. Oh, you know what? I guess it doesn't look that bad. Maybe no real reason to mess with that, but if you go overboard on the side of a ferry, are you gonna end up mulched by the end of it? I guess that's why if you go overboard, you want to get away from the boats. And that's also something that was on the tape, the water turning red. We saw a very quick flash right there. That looked like one frame of the ring. We now understand that's the corona, the lid going over the well. Dead 24 years. I don't think she'll mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's possible. Oh, you're going to tell me where the record rooms are, huh? Who calls somebody a jerk off anymore? You know, I was thinking, when was the last time you heard the World Wide Web? I don't even hear people say the web. People say the internet. And the weird thing about that is look at the syllables you have to churn out to say the internet versus the web. Oh yeah, just post it to the web, post it to the internet. It's online app. You hear online, internet, that's about it. I guess people just don't want to have to call the same thing 5 different things, you know? Surprised they didn't get out to that lighthouse a little sooner, frankly. Yeah, this shot doesn't look that amazing, but can't fault too much. Man, Washington must be dreary as all hell. And here we're going to have Brian Cox come into the scene. Who were the first victims of the videotape? You know? It was something like, did they say they were trying to tape a game and that happened, or what, they put the tape in? Maybe Samara doesn't typically like to reach out to people by VHS and phone, but they were they happened to be right above the wells, so that's how she was able to communicate. For, if you want to call it communicate, torment. What has Brian Cox been up to lately? Shortly after this, he was in Troy. He's in a movie that it's about an autopsy of Jane Doe with one of those kids that was in stuff for. Was he the kid from the Risky Business ripoff? I'm trying to recall. It's just about thinly veiled attempt to get a hot model naked for an extended period of time. Oh, look, we're looking at some more natural tones in this interior. Starting to wonder if he's younger than Anthony Hopkins. Not after what happened. Must have been hard for you, and here I am to remind you. The mirror. I don't know if I really want to tell you. That's a VHS tape. Ooh, a little sinister here. He's at a meat hook. Shelter Mountain Inn. Is that the only one? I made a copy. Has this happened before? Because this is the kind of event that, if it has sparked up in the past, it's not likely to go terribly widespread. By the time people figure out the 7 days, they're dead in most cases. It's not like they went around showing everybody, though circumstances could arise where you could end up broadcasting the tape. See, they didn't really realize that it was the girl that's behind it so much. Slams door. Sighs. What do we see over here? You don't have the daughter anymore. Your wife's been dead for a bit. Do you take the swing down? That's what we must ask ourselves. The drawings, they line up so well. Why is the little girl's face covered up? What is this? Little girl in this, I think her name's Davleen Chase. She was, I think, Donnie Darko's youngest sister, if I remember right. I think they made a sequel to Donnie Darko revolving around her. I don't really know what else she's been doing. Uh-oh, he's got the nosebleeds. Had nosebleed in Horse Girl also. I wonder if that has to do with this movie. There's horsies here. Maybe there was some parallel thinking. Though I'll tell you this, Horse Girl was hot ass. Jeez, that sucked. Sessions terminated at father's request. There's something about this girl. And now he's making the circles. You don't so much realize it here, but that's a perspective looking up the well. And not just blackness in general. You're put in the direction here. You gotta go find out about the little girl. She lives in a dark place now. How does... I realize you have a creepy son, but it's not like he's demon spawn also. Is there a youth factor to this? The youth are the conduits in which they can communicate, hive mind. She has a power on them. I think he was here before me. Darby? Darby's always here. Aren't you, Darby? Do you know their daughter? The news on this island. It's there's always one of these things where it's like people in the small town community, they don't want to tell. Oh man, I was worried this was going to happen. Yeah, we try not to talk about that event. Adopted, they said. Mother died of complications. They went away, they came back, and then they have a girl here. And that's kind of a more convenient way to phrase versus how the Japanese version. Anything wrong with her? Oh, you mean medically? Well, then what else? I think that Eola Psychiatric, we already been there. But what the hell does that mean? Ever since the girl's been gone, things have been better. He's lying. I think that the tape system they have here, we're looking at a tape from 1978. Trying to recall if VHS was even a thing then. Beta was. Okay, it's missing. That looks like a beta box, possibly. Checked out on December 9th. How, how are you checking these out? I don't get that, but whatever. You have people checking out patient tapes. I suppose you gotta show other doctors, right? He's taking the ferry. Come on, pick up your phone, your cell. I had a cell in 2002. Got it in 2001. It was totally a thing back then, just not necessarily a smartphone. And the first smartphones were Palms. Oh, you had a Palm. You didn't have a smartphone, you had a Palm. It was like in the early 90s, you didn't play video games. Well, okay, maybe the late 80s. You didn't play video games, you played Nintendo. It wouldn't be a movie without people being able to break into other people's houses because they left them unlocked. Gotta wonder, do a lot of people actually leave their houses unlocked? Could one think that there's something with the mirror? Like we have to investigate the mirror? Like, I mean, you're running out of time and you have these clues presented to you. Oh, did he watch the tape? What are those called? Is it EKG pads? Something like that? Centipede? Can't remember if it's centipede or millipede that are venomous. I don't think you could get that quality from a tape of that age with the cameras they would have had. I don't believe that's possible. Yeah, you're telling me that they went all music video with the the editing and the shot selection here? Like they had multiple cameras set up and they kind of cut between them. In actuality, I think it would have just been really straightforward. We probably wouldn't even see this view. It'd just be her face. I don't make them. I see them. What are those pictures made on? They look like x-rays. You get the sense that the girl's mistreated. And so Naomi Watts here, Rachel, she wants to help the girl. Mommy and daddy, they were abusive to me. Daddy in particular. Daddy loves the horses. Dad was abusive to me, so now go find out what happened to me, and that'll lift the curse. That's the train of thought she's on. That's kind of the way that the story is positioning the viewer. No way in hell you're getting a picture that sharp on video. And I should have looked closely there. Was that beta that they were watching? Oh man, I'm thinking here. Yeah, beta would have been a little sharper, but still. Excuse me, lady. I'm trying to electrocute myself, and you had to go and ruin all this. Are those LL Bean duck boots she's got? She'll never stop. She's coming here proves that. Okay, so the picture she shows you, but something. Why do the pictures bother you so much? She never sleeps. So your kid doesn't sleep. Is that a problem? If they don't sleep and they still function, then just don't let them sleep. There you go. Hey, Rachel, we might be witnesses to a murder here. Like, maybe we should just dip. Yeah, you can see that the family's getting together here, huh? We care for each other. We gotta figure this out. Oh, we ain't getting any more clues out of Brian Cox. She doesn't like the barn. Horses keep her up at night. Listen to the clues from Aiden, the conduit for which Samara speaks. I don't run across a lot of Samaras. Sam, not so much, but if you run across a Sam, you think it's a Samantha, right? I mean, we can kind of snap the lock on this barn. I don't think he's going to mind a whole lot. Another ladder. Now, that the ladder of the vision? Did the first ladder we come across, was that just coincidence? Oh man, that's something kind of scary about going up a ladder flexing like that to those heights. Like what could be up there? Something might jump, push the ladder down. Who knows? It's a ways up there. You really trust a little girl to go up that? You make her sleep in the barn up the ladder? What if she has to pee at night? What the hell's happening here? Her mother was going crazy. He kept her here. Why provide the TV and stuff? Seems like a bit of a bit weird. In watching this, you kind of get the impression, okay, maybe the TV's her outlet, so that's how she's able to get tapes, get her image on tape in a way, because it's a visual thing linked to a television. There's something under here. Good thing that's cut a little bit so that we know to peel the rest. Was the burn on my arm supposed to look like a tree? Or was it a hand? Because in the dream, she put her hand on me, and I thought that was a hand impression that was on my arm. No, I've been there. Oh, okay, so it's supposed to be the red leaves around it, okay. Wednesday, day 7. Good thing that tree's still standing, huh? Or we wouldn't have figured out shite. Tree still standing after over 20 years. No other trees around it. That would have made it impossible to identify by this means. The sun came through the leaves, lit them up like it was on fire right at sunset. You're cutting it close. It really seems like they gave you some leniency here with the 7 days. To the first time viewer. Because she's dead in 7 days. She didn't solve the mystery. We're running out of time. We're back to where we started. What are we going to do? You have to help him. Now it's about passing up. We have to help Aiden. He watched the tape. You got to figure this out without me. It's pulled us back. We have to figure out why we're back at square one. Oh, good thing he had a hissy fit. Seems to have got the. At first, I thought, is this magnetic? What? It, it's depression in the ground. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of restoration modifications here to your cabin. Bill me later. I'm running out of time. Come on. And when you're watching this, you don't know what the ring is, like to what that alludes. It's I I don't think it's until they get down there that you understand it's the light as the lid's going onto the well so much. So it makes an interesting mystery. Oh no, the TV's gonna fire up. It's time. Oh no, the water's seeping through. Realistically, okay, we know that she made the copy and that's what gets her out of the curse loop. So then why is this happening? Like why is the TV acting up to activate to get her when her time is um, no longer relevant? Like she passed the test in a way. I mean, it's done is a scary effect. I mean, it builds up. You're still it helps to enhance the idea that she's still running out of time. That you, the audience member, don't know at this point that she has circumvented the curse. I If I was making the movie, it probably wouldn't have happened though. Probably wouldn't have had the TV come on. But oh man, that fall probably would have killed her. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, well, she's dead. The curse got her. For how long can you be face down in water, unconscious? Well, you're down there. You may as well look for her. Are flashlights like that particularly water resistant? It seems like maybe if it's short, I could be wrong. Try to claw out, losing fingernails. A bad way to go. He went to the same little kiosk where he got the axe. Oh, it shut on her. Time's up. What's going to happen to her? I mean, she's down there with the body. Oh, jeez. She's got quite the iron stomach, you know, like there's Rachel Keller's not a heroine who gets brought up enough as far as the strong female in movies. She's not whiny, she's not screaming at everything. She's not constantly talking about how women are better than men. So now she gets the vision of what happened to the girl. She has solved the mystery and thus defeated the curse. That's what she thinks has happened here. The girl led them on a path to discover what happened to her. All I ever wanted was you, yeah, she didn't die yet. They left her in there to die. Try to claw her way out, huh? Starved to death after 7 days. That's why you have 7 days. And there's the ring. It's gone. I've done it. Well, where's the body? It's okay. We'll get a crew. We'll give her a proper burial. We'll get this sorted out. Preserved a bit well here. Not the strongest CGI here, but yeah, maybe that's a little bit more of what the body would look like. So the vision has passed, and now she's back in reality fully. Can an adult climb up? That is a very wide base that she's in, it appears. Not just a hole drilled straight. How do you explain this to the authorities? Well, we just started axing away at the floor and decided to crawl into this well. Gonna bury her next week. It's over. Yeah, you got this relief, don't you? It's been a long enough movie. You're thinking, okay, maybe it is over. Happy ending for all. She just wanted to be heard. Yo, if this is your baby mama, why'd you leave that? The guy says, "Well, I just didn't think I'd be a good father." So what? Naomi Watts is quite the catch right here. Can't imagine being stuck in a well alive that like long. How long could she survive? They're putting things together. 7 days. That's why we had 7 days. What's with Aiden? He can't be dead. We fixed everything, right? You're just tired. Oh, and then the parents they're gonna hold hands and oh yes, it brought the family together. They didn't just defeat the curse; they fixed their own lives. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There's nothing uh, to the first time viewer to suggest that there's anything left here. That you get the sense that they're in the clear. I guess the fact that the movie's still going on is the only tell so much. It's kind of like why are we seeing her in the shower here? It kind of seems like maybe things could have stopped, right? But there's some other spooky thing going to happen, right? You don't know it's going to be the dad getting killed. But not today. And then the kid, it's like, yeah, yeah, we helped the girl. We got her. You got her out. Like, is that her name? Mm-hmm. Just kind of this calm. Yeah, we fixed everything. Don't worry, everything's gonna be fine. We set her free. Well, I mean, come on. Didn't you think we needed to help her? You weren't supposed to help her. Wait a minute. You've got the burn now? Why? But I thought we fixed it all. Don't you understand, Rachel? Uh-oh. We didn't fix it. What are we gonna do? A little too late to warn Dad. Why would his mug be sweating like that? Eh? Or actually, coffee stained with a ring. I don't think they do. Isn't that the point of having a mug? The TV's turning itself on. And it's giving you the picture of the well. And this is the movie giving you that payoff, the fully realized death, I guess. No, this is a time you want to pick up the phone, dude. What happens if he just runs away? What if there's no TV around you in 7 days? What happens? We know that the fly came out of the tape, which I guess kind of sets up that she can exit, come out of the screen as well. Oh man, that is some frantic ass driving in Seattle. You know, this is just simple crawling on the ground. Later on, they kind of turn this into like a spider walk thing, where you get this contortionist to play the girl essentially in the latest Ring movie, where it's like she's walking back feet over the front. This kind of gives you a look and then changes you. And then moves the body around. Like she has a little bit of fun with this. Find you in the closet, or let's put you in a chair. Covered in water. It's like you've been in the well for 7 days. But there's also like a scare. Am I mistaken, or isn't there a scared to death scenario here where sudden heart attack, scared to death? Like, or is that just what the authorities thought? Not a starvation type thing. Oh no. Don't look at it, Rachel. You know what this is. You don't need to see it. It's rated PG-13 for your protection. Curious reporter. Understandable scream. Oh, come on. Aren't you like a mortician or something at NCIS? Like, aren't you into the dead bodies? You call her up there. Every show's got to have some quirky girl that looks after the dead people, right? Still, you got to do something for Aiden. What'd you do different? What did he not do? He's grounded for what? Maybe if I destroy the tape, then that'll defeat it. And there we go. Remember, we had that lingering shot showing the copy being placed under the couch. Like somehow this is going to be important later. She just wanted to be heard. Well, how do you get something heard? You share the message. You make a copy and show it to somebody. Is it making the copy or is it making someone watch it? Can you just make someone watch the same tape or does it have to be your copy? Oh man, we got the look of the victims. I made a copy. Make him make the copy. You have to push this and you're going to push that and those at the same time. Don't worry, sweet. We're going to be okay. Yeah, but someone's not going to be. What happens to them? Well, they're going to deal with it. The important thing is your immediate family. Yeah, at this point, I am pretty thankful that the movie's over. And for several months thereafter, afraid of all kinds of tech. So, what were your guys' impressions of The Ring? How did you see it? Was it maybe ruined for you because you'd heard the hype, you'd heard what it was about? I saw this when there was no marketing campaign. I never saw an ad for it. I never heard anything about the movie. I wanted to see Red Dragon. Got roped into seeing this instead, and am quite thankful for it in retrospect. There's something really special about seeing a movie knowing absolutely nothing about it, and for it to actually be a good movie, because then you have all of its secrets to be revealed to you in that sitting. It's not the trailer ruined it. There's nothing like that can happen. It's the best surprise there is, and you know who agrees with me? One Roger Ebert. So, I enjoyed The Ring quite a bit. What are you guys' thoughts? Comment below. Let me know what else you'd like me to watch for a Netflix commentary. Till next time, adios.